Welcome everyone. Today we're going to tackle a topic that's absolutely fundamental for any Java developer, JDBC. If you've ever wondered how your code actually talks to a database, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Okay, so let's get right to it. Picture this. You've got your awesome Java app over here and your database over there. They're like two separate worlds, right? One's running all your logic, the other's holding all your precious data. So how in the world do we build a bridge between them?
Here's the game plan. We're going to start with why we even need something like JDBC, then we'll get into how it works, walk through some real code, and finish up with some absolutely critical security tips. Okay, let's dive in.
All right, first things first. Let's really get our heads around the basic problem we're trying to solve here. Why do we need this thing in the first place?
I mean, think about it. Your Java application needs to save stuff. User profiles, product details, you name it. But the database, whether it's MySQL, Oracle, or Postgres, it's got its own unique way of doing things, its own protocol. They literally don't speak the same language.
So, we have this communication gap. How do we fix it? Well, this is where the hero of our story makes its entrance. Let's talk about JDBC.
So what is JDBC? It stands for Java Database Connectivity, and it's basically the official standard set of rules, an API, that lets our Java code talk to pretty much any relational database on the planet.
And honestly, this analogy is perfect. Think of it like a universal travel adapter. You write your Java code once using standard JDBC commands. Then you just plug in the right adapter, which we call a driver, for whatever database you're connecting to. It's that simple.
And check this out. This diagram shows it perfectly. See your Java app up top? It just talks to the standard JDBC API. The API then uses a specific JDBC driver, that's our little adapter, to translate the request into a language that MySQL or Oracle or any other database can understand. It's just a beautiful, clean design.
Okay, theory's great, but let's get our hands dirty. Let's look at the actual step-by-step plan you'll use every single time you interact with a database.
This 7-step plan, this is your roadmap. You really got to know this because it's the logical flow for every single database operation. You import your tools, connect, then run your query, and you always clean up afterwards. Trust me, this is a classic exam question for a reason.
Now these are the main tools in your JDC toolbox. You've got your connection, that's your live line to the database. The result set is where your data comes back. And then you have these two, statement and pre-statement. Now really lock in on pre-statement. We're going to see in just a minute why this one is your absolute best friend.
All right, enough talk. Nothing beats seeing this stuff in action. Let's walk through what this looks like with some actual Java code.
Okay, so here we're inserting some data. See those question marks in the SQL string? Those are super important. They're secure placeholders. We use a pre-prepared statement and then we safely plug our data, like Priya Sharma, into those slots. This keeps our code clean and, as you're about to see, extremely secure.
And here's the flip side, getting data out. We execute a select query and it gives us back a ResultSet object. You can literally think of the ResultSet as a little table of data sitting right there in your code. We just use a while loop with rs.next to go through that table row by row and pull out exactly what we need.
Now, this is a huge best practice, you guys. You have got to clean up after yourself. Database connections are precious, expensive resources. Leaving them open can cause major problems. Using a try with resources block is the modern, foolproof way to make sure everything gets closed properly, even if something goes wrong.
Okay, everybody, listen up. This next part is, without a doubt, the most important thing we are going to talk about today. This is how you write code that doesn't get your application hacked.
Have you heard of this? If not, you really need to. It's consistently one of the biggest, most common, and most dangerous security holes you can find in web applications.
To put it simply, an attacker uses a normal input field like a login box to sneak in their own database commands. And if your code isn't written carefully, it'll just run those commands. Think about that. They could delete all your data, steal user info. It is a total disaster.
And this right here shows the problem and the solution perfectly. On the left, you've got the dangerous way. See how it's just mashing the user's input directly into the SQL string? That is just asking for trouble. But look at the right, the secure way. Using PreparedStatement with a placeholder fundamentally changes the game. It tells the database, hey, here's the command, and, separately, here's some data.
Treat this data as just plain text, never as part of the command. And just like that, the attack is stopped dead in its tracks.
All right, let's bring it all home. We're going to do a quick-fire revision of the key points. This is the stuff you absolutely need to know for that test or that next job interview.
Okay, let's nail these down. JDBC, that's the standard bridge. The JDBC driver, that's the translator for a specific database. The 7 steps, that's your process. Pre-prepared statement is your #1 tool for security. ResultSet is your table of data, and try with resources is the safe way to close everything. If you know these 6 things, you're in great shape.
But if you walk away with only one thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this. I'm serious. Always, without exception, use pre-prepared statement to handle any data that comes from a user. It is not just a best practice, it is the golden rule of secure database programming in Java.
And there you have it. You now have the core knowledge to connect Java applications to a world of data, and to do it safely. But the best way to really learn is by doing. So go on, fire up your IDE, grab a JDBC driver, and try this yourself. See what you can build.